In the shadows of early Christian history, buried beneath the sands of Egypt and the dogmas of Rome, lies a passage that the institutional church systematically hunted down. They did not just burn the manuscripts, they attempted to erase the very memory of what was written inside them. Found within the fragments of the Gospel of Philip, there is a staggering revelation. It describes 3 physical objects, 3 specific items that Jesus of Nazareth instructed his inner circle of disciples to carry at all times. These were not religious decorations. They were not symbolic gestures of faith. They were actual, physical technologies of spiritual protection, mechanisms operating at frequencies so high, so pure, that archonic entities, the parasitic forces that feed on human fear and confusion, cannot penetrate them. The ancient text reads, "There are 3 things fashioned by human hands that carry the light of the pleroma. When the powers of the Archons perceive them, they withdraw in terror, for they recognize what is descended from the realm above." The Gnostic communities that preserved this teaching knew exactly what these 3 objects were. They crafted them in absolute secrecy. They passed them from master to initiate, and the protection they provided was not a psychological placebo. It was immediate. It was undeniable. Within hours of carrying these objects, the crushing mental oppression lifted. The energetic drain that left them exhausted ceased. The invisible interference simply stopped. Why? Because these are not symbols hoping for divine intervention. They are frequency anchors, physical items that hold the vibration of the monad, the ultimate source in material form. Tonight, we are going completely off the authorized script of history. You will discover what these 3 sacred objects are, why the Archons fear them more than any chanted prayer, and precisely which one you must forge tonight to reclaim your sovereignty. To understand why these objects were banned, you must understand the architecture of power in the 4th century. When the Roman Empire formalized Christianity under Emperor Constantine, they needed a religion of control. If ordinary believers understood that they could craft simple, physical items that provided absolute protection from demonic and archonic manipulation, the entire apparatus of the church would collapse. There would be no need for authorized priests. No need to purchase blessed artifacts. No need for an intermediary system that positioned the church as the sole gatekeeper between humanity and the divine. The protection of the monad was too direct, too accessible, and too verifiable. And so, heresy hunters like Irenaeus of Lyon declared these practices dangerous. The texts were burned. The mystics were scattered. But the Gnostics understood a cosmic truth that modern quantum physics is only now beginning to echo. The ancient philosophical concept that all things in the universe are connected through invisible, vibrating frequencies, the Archons, the inorganic, parasitic rulers of this dense material realm operate at the lowest bandwidths of consciousness. They thrive on the frequencies of fear, guilt, division, and despair. They are the architects of the matrix. But they have a fatal weakness. They cannot exist in the presence of the pleroma, fullness of divine light. Jesus knew that human beings, trapped in dense physical bodies, needed physical anchors to hold that high frequency. He gave them 3. The first object, the Stone of Sophia. Across every ancient mystery tradition, from the burial masks of Egyptian pharaohs to the Sumerian texts, one stone is revered above all others. It is known as Lapis Lazuli. The Sumerians called it the flesh of the gods. In the secret book of John, when the divine feminine, Sophia, breathes the spark of true consciousness into humanity, the text states that the spark descended as a stone of sapphire fire directly into the crown of the head. The Orthodox Church taught that this was merely poetry. The Gnostics knew it was an anatomical scheme. Sophia encoded the frequency of the divine spark into specific minerals within the Earth's crust. Lapis Lazuli operates specifically upon the Pineal Gland, biological seat of the third eye, and the crown. These are the exact coordinates where archonic forces assault awakening humans. If they can keep your pineal gland calcified and your crown sealed, you will never perceive beyond the 5-sense material prison. You will remain blind. When you carry Lapis Lazuli against your skin, biological resonance occurs. The specific electromagnetic frequency emitted by its crystalline structure matches the optimum resonance of an uncorrupted pineal gland. Within 7 days of carrying this stone, your perception shifts. You begin to perceive the parasitic thought forms attached to your energy field. You recognize when an intrusive, Self-destructive thought is not yours, but an implant. And what you can observe, you can reject. The Archon's primary weapon is invisibility. Lapis Lazuli destroys their cover. The second object, the written name. This is the object the institutional church attempted to erase so thoroughly that it vanished from history. It is a piece of paper carrying a specific name, written in your own hand, in permanent ink. In the Gospel of Philip, a surviving fragment reads, "There is one name hidden from all except those who truly know themselves. When it is spoken by one who knows it, the powers flee." The church claimed this was the name of Jesus. But Jesus was pointing his initiates to something older, the name of the monad itself, the source consciousness. The phrase is, "I am monad. Why must it be written?" Spoken words dissipate into the air. The sound waves die. But written words create a standing wave of electromagnetic frequency. Ink is permanent. When you take clean paper and write "I am monad" in your own hand, you create a frequency anchor. You fold it 3 times. The first fold seals your recognition of your divine nature. The second seals your connection to Source. The third seals your absolute protection. When you carry this in your pocket or against your chest, it broadcasts continuously. The Archons manipulate humanity primarily through mental fog, indecision, and proxy attacks using toxic people around you to drain your energy. But those carrying the written name report that the mental fog dissolves within hours. The arguments that used to erupt randomly with coworkers or family members simply fail to ignite. The entities using those people as vectors sense the broadcasting authority of the monad, and they withdraw. You become too energetically expensive to attack. The third object, the monad circle. This object requires nothing but your hand, yet it carries more territorial power than any blessed amulet. The Gospel of Philip states, "Truth did not come into the world naked, but it came in types and images." Divine frequency requires a physical vessel, and the ultimate vessel is sacred geometry. The symbol Jesus imparted is the circumpuncta circle with a single point in the center. It is devastatingly simple and absolutely fatal to Archonic presence. The circle represents the infinite, boundless consciousness of the Creator. The point in the center represents a localized divine spark. When you draw this symbol with intentionality, you are declaring, "I am the point within the infinite. I am source consciousness, having a human experience." Lapis Lazuli protects your body. The written name protects your mind. But the drawn symbol protects your territory. When you place this drawn symbol where you sleep, or where you work, it acts as a frequency broadcast tower. Archons exist by maintaining the illusion of separation and fear. They cannot maintain molecular coherence in a space vibrating with the geometry of absolute unity. Within 3 days, the oppressive heaviness in your room will vanish. Nightmares will be replaced by lucid, restorative sleep. The space becomes a sanctuary. Do not mistake this for ancient history. The Archons did not vanish. They evolved. Look at the modern world. It is an engineered system designed to keep your pineal gland calcified and your crown chakra slammed shut. Fluoride in the water, the relentless barrage of fear-based news, the dopamine loops of social media, the chronic stress of modern survival, these are not accidents of civilization. They are the new Archonic mechanisms. They are designed to keep you trapped in a dense, low-vibrational state of panic and exhaustion, completely blind to the spiritual warfare happening around you. You, the chosen one, are feeling the brunt of this assault. You feel the unexplainable fatigue, the sudden drops in mood, the intuition that you are meant for something vast, yet feeling trapped in a mental fog you cannot seem to pierce. You are under an invisible siege. The systems of this world want you dependent. They want you relying on external authorities, whether priests, politicians, or pharmaceutical companies to fix a spiritual hemorrhage. But you were born with the exact technology required to free yourself. The divine spark is already inside you. It just needs to be anchored. The institutional church hid these teachings for 17 centuries because a human being who realizes they are the monad cannot be controlled. Tonight, that knowledge has been placed back into your hands. The ultimate authority is yours. You do not need to perform elaborate rituals. You do not need to beg a distant god for mercy. You need to anchor the frequency of your own divine origin into the physical world. Listen to your intuition right now. Choose one object based on what is attacking you the most. If you are spiritually blind, disconnected from your intuition, and unable to read the energies around you, obtain a piece of Lapis Lazuli. If you are suffocating under mental fog, chronic indecision, and constant emotional attacks from the people in your life, take a pen tonight. Write I a monad, fold it 3 times, and keep it against your heart. If your home feels oppressive, if your sleep is plagued by dark dreams, and you feel watched in your own sanctuary, draw the monad circle and place it by your bed. Do not try to do all 3 at once. Choose the one that your spirit is demanding right now. By tomorrow, you will understand the profound difference between living as a victim of Archonic pressure and living as an untouchable sovereign of the light. If you are committing to forging one of these sacred anchors tonight, leave your declaration in the comments below. Write which object you are choosing, the stone, the name, or the circle. Subscribe to this channel, because this is only the foundation. The advanced mechanics of these frequencies are yet to be revealed. And share this transmission with another chosen one whose light is currently under attack. The veil is falling. The Archons are terrified. Take back your power. You are the point within the infinite. You are untouchable.